Yeah, it's your boy Jilla the King, Black and Black Media. I'm here with my boy A1 the Barber. Give it up to him, y'all. This is part of my Black Entrepreneur segment, and we're going to get into it with my boy A1 the Barber. So, A1 the Barber, man, what's to it, man? My people don't know who A1 the Barber is. Where you get the name from?
Yo, so first and foremost, A1 is just about being yourself, being authentic, and doing your best at everything that you do. It took me a little minute to come up with the name. I was in barber school, and I'm just like, man, like what would be a good name? And I just know that I always wanted all my work to be A1, so I just came up with that name, and then, I got a vision for it. I'm gonna go off brand with it and do other stuff other than barbering, and I could still use that A1 name with it. So that's how I came up with the name, man. But it's all about being authentic, being real, and putting your best foot forward in everything you do.
All right. So now, A1, tell us a little bit about you. Who are you? Where you from?
First and foremost, I'm from Chicago, the Windy City. Speaking of that, it's already getting cold.
You ain't lying about that.
Man, I'm from the south side of Chicago, but I like to get all around Chicago. Growing up, I lived in 3 or 4 different neighborhoods. All on the south side of Chicago. My mom, I kind of got 2 backgrounds. My mom, most of her side of the family is from the projects. Robert Taylor. And then my dad's side of the family, that was the side where I got my church side. We went to church every Sunday and all that type of stuff. Growing up, I really ain't played no sports or nothing like that. I was always good in school. I always got good grades and all of that. I stayed out of trouble for the most part. My daddy was strict for real, so I really couldn't do as much as, I did stuff, but I had to sneak, Or I had to wait till I get, to my cousins and them crib and all that. I ended up going to college in Missouri.
A1 smart. Okay. All right.
Hey. I ain't no dumb.
2 plus 2 is 4,
So
let's get it.
But yeah, I went to Missouri. I really didn't know exactly what I wanted to go to college for. But I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And it was kind of just college was one of them things that's when you get out of high school, you gotta go to college. Right. And I don't regret going to college, but if I would have known I was gonna be doing this, I could have saved a lot of money. A lot of money. But I knew I was good at math, and I knew I wanted to do some type of business. So I just picked a profession that was in the business school, and that just happened to be accounting.
Okay. So what are some of your motivators and inspiration to be a barber? Who motivated you to even get into this game?
I can't even say that somebody motivated me to get into this game. Or maybe my barber that was in Missouri. But I never even knew that I was gonna be a barber. Like I said, I went to school for finance, for business. And but what's crazy is I had a class in high school, and it was a business class. And one of our things that we had to do was we had to come up with a business that we wanted to do. And I came up with a barbershop / strip club.
Oh, wow.
But at that time, though, I never thought about cutting hair. You know what I'm saying? I knew I wanted to own businesses And you know, like I knew about barbershops. Like I went to the barbershop every 2 weeks growing up. But I really, man, I've been around clippers my whole life. My daddy used to cut my hair when I was younger. His daddy always had some clippers at the house.
Right,
and,
right.
We went to church every Sunday, and like we was big on being fresh and clean. So we always had our haircut. But in between haircuts, you know, we'll touch it up ourselves.
Right.
So I was always familiar with clippers, but still not thinking about being a barber.
Okay.
So when I was in Missouri, when I was going to college, I ended up getting into trouble. I was
like we all do.
Man, bro. So I got some felonies on my record from selling drugs.
Right.
So at that time, I was going to school for finance,
Mm-hmm.
and like while it was time for me close to getting out of school, and I'm applying for jobs, didn't nobody want to hire me. You know, like my felony had to be 7 years old. So
right.
I'm still, you know, it's selling drugs, and like my mindset was like, let me stack up my bread so I could open up a club or open up some. I had a vision of doing a food truck, and I'm still gonna do that.
You know how to cook?
No, man, I actually know how to cook, but I was gonna do some simple stuff like,
oh, okay,
you know, like it could just be like hot dogs, nachos.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if
I know
make
somebody doing that.
Yeah, so
catch all the school kids getting out, boy, you be rich.
Stuff, man. Like post up right by the school, or at nighttime you post up in front of the clubs. You know, they just want anything to eat. You know what I'm saying? So it was gonna be simple stuff, but still stuff you can make money with. Like I know people that make a lot of money just with a snowball stand or like a little candy stand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just gonna be simple stuff, man.
So what is some of the your specialty when it comes to being a barber? I mean, you do weaves. Now I'm messing with you.
Nah.
But what you know like?
But you know I would do that though.
Hey man,
I was thinking about it. They make a lot more money than barbers for sure.
Oh yeah. I've been hearing that. So you cut women hair. You cut have you cut different races. It don't matter who it is. If it's a head, you gonna cut it.
If it's a head, I'm gonna cut it, man. Whatever type of canvas I can get.
Okay.
You know, I'm always up for a challenge. I don't really have too many female clients, but I got a decent amount of them.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
But it's mostly, you know, men. I really don't cut a lot of little kids. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Not unless, you know, I'm already cutting a dude that got a little son or something.
Oh, okay.
Then I ain't gonna turn them away. But for
the
most part, like 5 and up, man. That's my only restriction is kids 5 and up.
Now, what would you give? What type of advice would you give a young man or somebody who decide they want to be a barber, they want to get into this game? What is some advice that you would give them?
Definitely just always be a student. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever get too cocky and feel like you know it all, or even if your haircuts is cold, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can always learn a lot more. And then the other thing is, you know, it's just not about cutting people's hair. You know, like, barbers is way more than just cutting hair. Like, we actually like therapists. You know what I'm saying? Like, people come to you and they want to talk to you about certain stuff that they got going on that they can't talk to somebody else about. So I would just say always focus on your craft, focus on getting better, and just realize that like the responsibility that you have as a barber with dealing with different people in your community and the impact that you can have on them.
All right, bet. Okay. So A1, how did you feel when you finally started to be a barber and you got into it, how did you feel?
Well, it was something that I was thinking about for a couple years before I actually got into it. And at first I was just working little temp jobs and I wasn't really making no money, so I knew I had to do something. So I was a little nervous about it at first, but once I actually got into it, man, it was like, shit, it was perfect. It was like the perfect fit. I could still be an entrepreneur. I could still be free, make my own schedule. And like, I caught on to it quick, man. Like, it's really a gift from God, man, for real. Like, it's a talent. And I wish I would have started earlier, man, for real.
Okay, so what's your mission?
The mission, man, is really just to inspire everybody that's sitting in this chair, man. To give them the best cut that I can give them, and to motivate them, to make them feel good. Like when they step out of this chair and walk out into the world, like I want them to have every bit of confidence that they should have, like they could reach their wildest dreams.
So A1, what advice would you give other young men who want to turn their lives around?
I mean, if you out here putting any type of energy into doing stuff that's illegal, a lot of the times, you got to be smart to do that. So like, I know a lot of y'all are smart, and you putting all of this energy into something that 9 times out of 10 you gonna get in trouble, or 9 times out of 10 you gonna have to go to jail, or you might end up dead. Like, shit, I got shot, and probably if I didn't get shot, I'll probably be in jail for a long time or something.
Wow.
So I would say all of that time and energy that you putting into that, you could put it into something positive.
Right.
And like, no matter how deep you are into it or how far off you think you are, like, it's a lot of different options out here. Like, the options are unlimited. You just gotta think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? And just most of the time, man, everybody got some type of God-given talent. And you just gotta figure out what that is and use it to your best advantage.
Cool. All right. So A1, what were some of the steps that you took that contribute to who you are today and be able to launch A1 Cuts and Styles?
First and foremost, definitely going to barber school, finishing barber school, getting into a shop, marketing myself, passing out flyers, marketing myself on social media, looking up to other barbers, taking advice from barbers that's in the position that I want to be in, and then taking the legal steps to, start the LLC, get a logo, and just think about what you want to put out into the world and brand yourself.
So why did you choose to be a barber opposed to doing something else?
Well, I was just trying to figure out something that I could do and still be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I was already familiar with clippers from lining myself up.
Right.
I still had never cut anybody else. I was just, like since I was 16, I had a beard. So, from 16 to 29, in between cuts, I lined myself up. I got good with doing my beard.
Right.
After I got good with doing my beard, then I started lining up the back and the front and all that stuff. And I always kind of looked up to my barber that I was going to when I was in college.
Okay.
He was just a solid dude.
You talking about when you was in Missouri?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was in Missouri.
All right.
He was just a solid dude, man. Like, he had a lot of clientele. He was always professional. And he had a lot of different clientele, you know what I'm saying? He had lawyers, doctors, teachers, drug dealers, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? And he made decent money. He lived a decent lifestyle. He worked when he made his own schedule, even though he did work all damn day. Like, the dude was a workaholic. And I always liked the conversations that me and him had. So while I'm in the streets selling drugs, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be talking to him thinking, you know, like, man, like, I could probably do this for real. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. Cool. So now, back to that hair show. When is the hair show actually that you got going on?
That's this Sunday, man.
Okay.
This Sunday.
Now, how can a person want to get in contact with you, whether it's to ask you a few questions or, man, be a new client? I mean, how can they get in touch with you?
Man, all my social media platforms. So, on Instagram, I'm A1 the barber, and that's DA barber. A1 DA barber. Facebook, I'm Young and Successful. So that's first name Young, middle initial N, last name Successful. I'm also on TikTok, A1 Cuts 88, and that's Cuts with a Z. A1 Cuts 88. Or for real, man, like, you could call me, man. 708-986-2933.
Okay.
You could call. Whatever you want to do.
It ain't my fault you got some stalkers calling you now.
Hey, you can call me. Once I pick up the phone, you say something crazy, man.
You was over with.
It's over with.
All right, man. Thank y'all for watching this quick segment, Black Entrepreneur segment with my boy A1 the barber. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, and support this brother business. I'm out.